Hey there riders, Journo Kris here today. I wanted to talk the Ninja 650. This is the 2023 model, so this is the latest upgraded model. Small tweaks for 2023, but I thought I'd talk to you about the ergonomics and how a rider will fit this particular bike. Obviously, I'm using myself as an example. I'm about 180 centimeters, 32-inch inseam, so I'm a bit on the leggier side of things. And one of the big standouts on the Ninja 650 is the simple fact it has a 790mm seat height. So if you're a shorter rider and you're looking for this style of bike, this is actually really, as far as seat height, very, very close to the lowest seat heights you're gonna get in a sports or naked style bike. Generally speaking, to get lower than that, you're gonna have to look at a cruiser. So this is a very nice and low and accessible machine. And what Kawasaki have done to kind of help that seat height, because the seat height figure its own is not the whole story. You also need to think about how wide the bike is, because if the bike's super wide, you have to reach a lot further down to the ground. They've kept the seat nice and narrow. Obviously the engine's quite narrow between here too. The tank is narrowed right down at the front here. So you've got a very easy reach to the ground. Now, as far as the seat to peg ratio, it is proper kind of sporty. It's not quite as aggressive, I would say, as the Ninja 400 or a full super sport style machine, but it's still quite a compact ratio between that seat and that peg, which does mean that you take a bit more weight through your legs. It's not as casual a machine in that regard, but I also do like to be able to take my weight through the pegs because it gives you a better engagement and better feel through the bike, I feel. But obviously that's going to vary. And if you haven't ridden a bike before, I'd probably say take my word for it. However, what then stands out apart from the nice low seat height and that seat to peg ratio is the other side of the ride triangle, and that's these nice tall bars. So the Ninja 650 is not as aggressive as the Ninja 400. The Ninja 400's bars are a little bit lower, and as a result, that kind of pushes you as a rider onto those bars a little bit more. And as I've said many times in the past, you know, if you don't have a lot of fitness, particularly kind of core muscle fitness, you will collapse onto the bars on any kind of bike which has lower bars. And the great thing about the Ninja 650 is that realistically, if you're one of the people who says, I don't want to hurt my back, I don't want any weight on my wrists or anything like that, that's a major concern for you, the Ninja 650 is probably going to be a great choice. And when we're talking this style of like a full sports bike style bike, that's a little bit less common because a lot of the sports bikes have the more aggressive bars. So jumping on board. So as I said, this has a very kind of neutral reach, a very upright stance on the bike and a neutral reach to those bars. You're not putting any weight onto those bars at all in general normal riding. Certainly if you're having a bit more fun and you're maybe getting off the bike a little bit more, you may be kind of grasping those bars a little bit more. But generally speaking, I would say out of all of the sports style machines in that 650 class, which includes bikes like the R7, the RS660, even the CBR 650, those bikes have a more aggressive handlebar setup on them. So for, again, anyone with a back issue or who doesn't want the weight on their wrists and they want a nice upright seating position, a naked bike style seating position, I think the Ninja 650 is going to be the clear winner there, and it certainly stands out from a lot of the other fared options, not necessarily the naked bike options, in offering that. So overall rider triangle, a little bit on the compact side between that seat and the peg, but a nice kind of generous reach to those bars. And as a result, obviously, you're very upright. If you've got a much shorter torso than me, it is quite possible that you'll be stretched out a little bit more towards those bars, which could cant you forward a little bit. But I think it's fairly unlikely that anyone's going to find themselves massively weighted onto those bars. The front end is a little bit on the light side at very, very low speeds. It's an unusual thing that I've just noticed with this bike. Very good vision through those mirrors. The screen offers a very small amount of wind protection. You'd probably want a taller screen if you were going to use this as a sports tourer. And in a lot of regards, I would say the Ninja 650 is almost a sports tourer-esque machine. Not quite to the level of the Ninja 1000, but it is built in a similar vein as far as kind of the ergonomics. And that is also reflected in the seat comfort in this. It has a nicely padded seat, where on the Ninja 400, I think the seat is fairly mediocre. It's quite hard, gets uncomfortable quickly. an hour and a half on this bike and I was ready to jump off and, you know, get a bit of blood flow through my behind, but it's comfortable, which that can vary from rider to rider. But I think for a lot of people, again, I think this is going to be quite a cool machine as an accessible machine, a comfortable machine, a nice upright machine, not overly aggressive while still offering that really cool sporty look, which is probably a bit of a niche market. But if this is all sounding to you like what you want, Ninja 650 is definitely the bike to check out, whether you're a beginner or intermediate rider. So it does kind of fall in between those two segments. And in Australia, we get the L version with only 51 horsepower for beginners. And in Europe, they get an A2 version, which has 35 kilowatts, which is a little bit lower, but certainly a viable machine. It weighs 191 kilos. If you're pushing it around like I was here to get some photos and some drone footage, you will feel that weight. However, once you're riding, the weight falls away. Whether as a new rider, you want to step up to a bigger bike like this, instead of say getting a Ninja 400, is something that you really do need to think about, because obviously there is a price premium, which is justified, and I'll talk about that in my full review of the Ninja 650. But it is quite a step up as far as going from the Ninja 400 to something like the Ninja 650, and of course from the 3 to 400cc capacity segment into that 650 segment. Apart from that, you are getting some adjustability on those levers, which is something I try and mention in the ergonomics. You are getting some preload adjustability in the rear shock, but otherwise it's quite a simple setup. There's no adjustability in those forks. There's no rebound or compression damping adjustability in the shock either. It's just preload, so that really lets you kind of vary it within the standard settings as far as really just rider weight, different rider weights. And apart from that, it's a fairly simple machine, so there's not a lot else to talk about. I will say, as you can see here, there is a decent, maybe not touring, but a decent pillion seat and a not too bad reach from that pillion seat down to those pegs. Probably somewhat similar to what the rider's doing, which, as I said, it's all more on the compact side, but yeah, it's obviously for some people, particularly if you're buying a 650 over a 3 to 400 because down the track you think you'll have someone on the back, certainly that's worth taking into account. And I think you probably will appreciate there's a little bit better comfort, which is more the norm on these larger bikes just because they're a little bit larger in all regards. So I guess the overall thought when we're talking about the Ninja 650, and which I think is quite important to talk about, is you're getting a sports bike styled machine, but you're very much getting the more relaxed naked bike ergo, the Roadster ergo. So you've got nice tall wide bars which help keep you nice and upright on the bike, so you're looking down the road, you're not doing this like you would on an actual sports bike. And as a result, this is going to be a more comfortable machine. It's going to be a more inviting machine for most riders as well. And if you like the look of something like the R7 or the CBR 650R or the RS 660, but you've jumped on one and just gone, nah, it's too aggressive, this is definitely the bike you should check out. It might still not be the bike for you, but I would check this one out and just see how you feel about the ergonomics, because I think it might be a winner for you. If you've got any questions, let me know down below in the comments. I would do my best to answer them as always. Stay safe out there and thanks for watching.